Stop everything you're doing right now. I have a message that breaks the silence and defines your tomorrow. This is not another video you scroll past in your feed. This is the last key you've been missing to turn the entire game around. Heaven has just issued a decree, and if you close this message now, you risk losing the activation that cancels out the pain of your entire past. The confirmation you've been crying for in the midnight hours. The sign you've been begging God to send. It's here. But here's what you need to understand. This moment has an expiration. The enemy knows what's about to happen in your life, and he's already working overtime to distract you, to make you think this is just another promise that won't land. Don't let him win. Not today, not when you're this close to everything changing. Your breakthrough is not coming. It's already here, waiting for your faith to unlock it. Listen to me carefully, because every word matters. This is not just a video. This is a divine communication, a prophetic broadcast sent directly from the throne room to your screen right now. God saw you click on this, and he allowed it because the timing is prophetic, not coincidental. You are not here by accident or because some algorithm brought you here. You are here because heaven orchestrated this divine encounter for this exact moment in your life. The miracle is at your door, and it cannot be lost to distraction or doubt. What I'm about to tell you in the next few minutes will completely reframe everything you thought you knew about your situation. It will expose the lies you've been believing as truth and reveal the truth that sets you free from every chain. But you have to stay present. You have to fight the urge to leave, to doubt, to dismiss this as just another motivational message that sounds good but changes nothing. The exhaustion you feel right now, that bone-deep spiritual fatigue that makes you want to give up and walk away from everything, that's not random, and it's not because God has abandoned you. That's a calculated, strategic attack from an enemy who sees what's coming. The enemy has been watching you closely, studying your patterns and your breaking points. And he knows you're standing on the edge of your greatest breakthrough in years. So he's throwing everything he has at you right now to make you quit right before you cross the finish line into victory. He's whispering constantly in your ear with that familiar voice of doubt. It's not going to happen for you. You've tried before and failed. Why would this time be any different? You're fooling yourself again. He desperately wants you to postpone belief, to think this is just one more empty promise in a long line of disappointments. You need to understand something right now that changes everything about how you receive what's coming. Your miracle doesn't depend on the last second of some divine countdown. It depends entirely on your immediate response of faith to what you're about to hear in this message. The signature of your victory is not written in some distant future that you have to wait years to see. It's written in the decision you make right now, in this moment, to stay engaged, to lean in with expectation, to receive with an open heart what heaven is releasing. God is not asking you to wait another year, another month, or even another week for things to change. He's asking you to respond now, immediately, with faith that doesn't need to see before it believes. Because the breakthrough that's coming to your life doesn't require more time to develop. It requires more faith to activate and release what's already prepared. Here's the truth that will anchor you for everything you're about to hear. God has just confirmed your victory. Not promised it again like he's done before, not hinted at it with subtle signs, confirmed it with divine authority and finality. The word confirmed means it's no longer in question or up for debate. It's settled in heaven. It's signed with the blood of Jesus. It's sealed by the Holy Spirit. And a new history is beginning right now in your life, whether you feel any different or not. The old chapter where you were cast as the victim, the overlooked one, the perpetually defeated, that chapter just closed forever. Heaven has turned the page with divine authority, and the new chapter has your name written boldly as the victor, the restored, the favored child of the Most High God. But you have to agree with heaven's declaration. You have to align your faith and your confession with what's already been decreed over your life. I know what you've been going through, and I need you to know that nothing about your struggle has been hidden from God's eyes. Those nights when you couldn't sleep because financial worries kept playing on repeat in your mind, calculating and recalculating numbers that never added up, God saw every single one of those sleepless hours. Those moments when you laid in bed staring at the ceiling, wondering how you were going to make it through another month, another week, sometimes even another day. He was right there with you in that darkness. The anxiety that gripped your chest when you opened those bills, when you checked that bank account, when you had to tell your family, not right now, one more time. God felt every ounce of that pressure crushing down on you. And I need you to understand this clearly. Those nights were not wasted. That suffering was not meaningless. You were not being punished for some hidden sin or forgotten mistake from your past. You've been fighting alone for so long that you've forgotten what it feels like to have someone truly stand with you in the battle. The people who should have been there, who should have helped carry the weight, who should have stood by your side, they disappeared when things got hard. They made promises when times were good, but when the storm came and you needed them most, they were nowhere to be found. You've carried burdens that were never meant to be carried by one person alone, and you did it without complaining, without making a scene, without demanding that others fulfill their obligations to you. The exhaustion of being your own support system, your own encourager, your own strength. God has seen it all. He's counted every tear that fell when no one was watching. He's heard every prayer you whispered in desperation when you had no one else to turn to for help. The injustice of what happened to you still burns in your memory like an open wound that never fully heals. Your reputation was damaged by lies you never told. Your character was questioned because of accusations that had no foundation in truth. People believed the worst about you without ever asking for your side of the story, without giving you a chance to defend yourself, without considering that maybe they were being deceived. You were blamed for things you didn't do, accused of intentions you never had, and painted as someone you've never been. And the worst part was not being able to defend yourself effectively, watching helplessly as the narrative was written by people who didn't know you, didn't care about the truth, and had their own reasons for wanting to see you fall. That kind of injustice leaves scars that go deeper than physical wounds ever could. Your sacrifice has been in complete silence, hidden from every human eye, but fully visible to heaven. The tears you cried alone in your room where no one could see your pain, God collected every single one in his bottle. The fasting you did in secret, denying yourself not for show, but because you desperately needed a breakthrough from God. He honored every sacrificial hour. The prayers you prayed at 3 in the morning when the weight was too heavy to carry into another day, he heard every word, every groan, every cry that came from the deepest part of your soul. You didn't post about it on social media. You didn't tell everyone what you were going through. You didn't make your pain a performance for sympathy or attention. You suffered with dignity, you fought with integrity, and you kept your faith even when everything in your circumstances screamed that God had forgotten about you completely. Your life has felt like it's been on pause for so long that you've started to wonder if the play button is even working anymore. You've watched other people move forward, get their breakthroughs, walk through doors of opportunity, while you've been stuck in the same place year after year after year. You've knocked on doors that never opened, no matter how hard or how long you knocked. You've waited for phone calls that never came. You've prepared for opportunities that never materialized. You've believed for changes that never happened. And somewhere along the way, you started to believe the lie that maybe this is just your lot in life. Maybe you're supposed to be the one who struggles while others succeed. Maybe you're supposed to be the one who waits while others walk into their destiny. But I'm here to tell you that the pause button is about to be released, and everything that's been delayed is about to move at supernatural speed. Now hear me clearly on this next part, because it's the foundation of everything else. Your perseverance was not in vain. That faithfulness you maintained when you had every reason to walk away from God. He saw it, He recorded it, and He's about to reward it in ways that will leave you speechless. The intercession you made on your knees when your own life was falling apart, but you still prayed for others. That was the mark of true spiritual maturity, and God doesn't forget that kind of selflessness. Your suffering was never punishment from an angry God who was trying to teach you a lesson through pain. It was the refining fire where the character of a true victor was being forged in you. God was testing the quality of your faith, strengthening it, purifying it, removing everything that was fake or surface level. And what remains now is faith that cannot be shaken by any storm, any attack, any disappointment, or any delay. God saw the tears you held back when you were in public, the ones you refused to let fall in front of people who wouldn't understand or who might use your vulnerability against you. He saw you smile and say, "I'm fine," when everything inside you was breaking into 1,000 pieces. He heard the prayers you couldn't even form into words, the groanings of your spirit that went beyond human language because the pain was too deep for vocabulary. He witnessed the choices you made in complete silence to honor Him even when dishonoring Him would have been easier, more convenient, and more immediately satisfying. Those moments when you chose integrity over shortcuts, when you chose obedience over comfort, when you chose faith over fear, every single one of those decisions was recorded in heaven's books. And the reward for those choices is about to manifest in your physical reality. You made sacrifices that nobody celebrated, nobody applauded, and nobody even knew about except you and God. You gave up things you wanted because you knew they would compromise what God was building in you. You walked away from relationships that felt good, but you knew weren't God's best for your life. You stayed in difficult situations because you had a conviction that God wasn't finished with you there yet, even though leaving would have been justified and understood by everyone. You kept showing up, kept pushing forward, kept believing when belief was the hardest thing you'd ever done in your entire life. And all of that, every sacrifice, every moment of obedience, every choice to trust God when you couldn't see the path forward, all of it is about to pay dividends that will shock you with their size and their suddenness. The weariness you feel in your soul right now is not a sign that you failed or that you're weak. It's a sign that you've been in a real battle, fighting against real opposition, standing your ground against an enemy who wanted to destroy you completely. Spiritual fatigue is the proof that you didn't give up, didn't surrender, didn't wave the white flag even when continuing the fight seemed pointless and impossible. You're tired because you've been warring, not because you've been lazy. You're exhausted because you've been standing, not because you've been sitting on the sidelines watching others fight your battles. And God is about to give you rest, not the rest of quitting or giving up, but the rest that comes when the battle is won and the victory is secured and you can finally breathe again without fear. Everything you've endured has been preparation, not punishment. Every closed door was God's protection from something that would have harmed you, even though it looked good on the surface. Every delayed answer was God's way of preparing you for a blessing so big that you needed to be strengthened first to carry it without it destroying you. Every moment of waiting was God working behind the scenes, moving pieces into position, removing obstacles, clearing paths, and setting up divine appointments that will blow your mind when they manifest. Nothing has been wasted. Not one tear, not one prayer, not one moment of faithfulness, not one act of obedience, not one sacrifice made in secret. It's all been building toward this moment right now, where everything shifts and your new history begins. Your faith maintained under that kind of pressure is rare, valuable, and precious in God's sight. Most people give up when the pressure gets intense. Most people walk away when the wait gets long. Most people compromise when the cost gets high. But you didn't. You held on when letting go would have been easier. You kept believing when doubt would have been justified. You continued to trust God when the evidence in your circumstances suggested that trust was foolish and naive. That kind of faith is what moves the hand of God. That kind of persistence is what breaks through spiritual barriers that have stood for generations. That kind of endurance is what qualifies you for the kind of blessing that's about to be released into your life. The breakthrough coming to you is not small, not partial, and not temporary. It's total, complete, and permanent. It's not a band-aid solution that makes you feel better for a moment, but doesn't change anything substantial. It's a complete restructuring of your reality from the foundation up. The restoration you're about to experience will be so thorough, so comprehensive, so undeniable that even you will struggle to believe it's really happening to you. This is not hype or empty motivation designed to make you feel good temporarily. This is prophetic truth spoken over your life with the authority of heaven backing every single word. And what God confirms, no man, no devil, no circumstance, and no delay can cancel or reverse. God has been preparing you for this moment since before the battle even began. Every hard thing you went through was developing strength you didn't know you had. Every betrayal was teaching you discernment you'll need for the next level. Every disappointment was purifying your motives and your expectations so that when the blessing comes, you'll handle it with wisdom and maturity. Every delay was protecting you from receiving something good at the wrong time when it would have become a curse instead of a blessing. And now, after all the preparation, all the testing, all the proving, all the refining, you're finally ready to receive what God has had prepared for you all along. And the timing is absolutely perfect, even if it doesn't feel like it to you right now. You are not forgotten, overlooked, or disqualified. You are chosen, called, and confirmed as a victor. The narrative that's been written about your life up until this moment, the story of struggle, lack, defeat, and disappointment, that story is about to be rewritten by the hand of God Himself. The old script is being torn up and thrown away. A new script is being written, where you're the one who overcomes, the one who rises, the one who testifies about God's faithfulness, and the one whose life becomes evidence that God still performs miracles for those who refuse to stop believing. Your vindication is not coming. It's already here, waiting for your faith to unlock it and bring it from the spiritual realm into your physical reality. The pain you carried was forming you, not destroying you. The pressure you endured was shaping you, not breaking you. The battles you fought were training you, not defeating you. And everything that tried to kill your faith, your hope, and your joy has actually made them stronger, deeper, and more resilient than they've ever been. You're not the same person who entered this season of difficulty. You've been transformed through the fire, and what's emerging now is a version of you that's wiser, stronger, more compassionate, more dependent on God, and more dangerous to the kingdom of darkness than ever before. The enemy attacked you because he saw your potential, and now that potential is about to become your reality. What's about to happen in your life will silence every voice that doubted you, criticized you, abandoned you, or wrote you off as finished. The vindication will be public, undeniable, and impossible to attribute to luck or coincidence. People will see the change in your life and know beyond any doubt that only God could have done this for you. Your testimony is about to become so powerful, so compelling, so miraculous that others will find hope for their own situations just by hearing what God did for you. This is not just about you getting a breakthrough. This is about God getting glory through your breakthrough and others getting faith because of your breakthrough. Your victory has a purpose beyond just blessing you. It's meant to be a catalyst for breakthrough in others who are watching your life and wondering if God still moves on behalf of His people. The season of preparation is complete. The time of testing is finished. The period of waiting is over. The door that's been closed is about to swing wide open, and what's on the other side is everything you've been believing for and more. The confirmation has been issued from heaven. The decree has been signed with divine authority. The angels have been dispatched to begin moving things into position. And all that remains now is for you to respond with faith, to agree with what heaven has declared, and to prepare yourself to receive the biggest breakthrough of your entire life. Your new history doesn't begin tomorrow or next week or next month. It begins right now, in this moment. As you make the decision to believe what God is speaking over your life through this message, the victory is confirmed, the new chapter is open, and you're about to step into a reality that will exceed every expectation you've ever had. Now, I need to expose something that's been working against you in the shadows, something you need to recognize so you can resist it effectively. The exhaustion you've been feeling is not natural tiredness from physical work or mental strain. It's a spiritual attack designed specifically to make you quit right before your breakthrough manifests. The enemy has been studying you for months, maybe even years, learning your patterns, identifying your weak points, and waiting for the perfect moment to strike with maximum impact. And that moment is now, because he knows something you're about to discover. Your victory has already been confirmed in heaven, and if he can't stop the blessing, he'll try to stop you from receiving it by making you too tired to believe, too weary to fight, too exhausted to hold on for one more day. This weariness in your spirit is not a sign that you need to rest from the battle. It's a sign that you're winning the battle, and the enemy is desperate to make you think otherwise. He wants you to interpret your exhaustion as evidence that you're on the wrong path, that you've been believing a lie, that God has forgotten about you, or that this fight isn't worth the energy you're putting into it anymore. But the truth is exactly the opposite of what he wants you to believe. Your spiritual fatigue is proof that you've been standing your ground against massive opposition. It's evidence that you've been resisting when most people would have surrendered long ago. It's the mark of a warrior who's been in real combat, not a civilian who's been sitting safely on the sidelines watching others fight. The doubt that's been whispering in your mind with that familiar voice, "This is never going to happen for you," is not your own thought, and it's not God's voice speaking truth to you. It's the voice of a defeated enemy who's trying to convince you that you're the one who's defeated. He's reminding you of every past disappointment, every previous failure, every time you believed and nothing happened, every door that stayed closed, every prayer that seemed unanswered. He's building a case in your mind using selective evidence, showing you only the times things didn't work out, while completely ignoring all the times God came through for you. He's a master at taking your history and weaponizing it against your future, making you believe that because things went a certain way before, they'll always go that way forever. Listen carefully to what I'm about to tell you, because this will break the power of that lying voice. The reason the enemy is working so hard right now to discourage you is because he sees what's coming and he's terrified of it. Demons don't waste energy attacking people who aren't a threat to their kingdom. They don't invest time and resources trying to discourage people who aren't about to step into something significant. The intensity of the attack you're experiencing right now is directly proportional to the size of the breakthrough that's heading your way. The bigger the blessing that's coming, the harder the enemy fights to stop you from receiving it. So when you feel that overwhelming urge to give up, to stop believing, to accept that nothing's ever going to change, recognize it for what it really is. Confirmation that your miracle is closer than it's ever been before. The procrastination that's been trying to take hold of your faith is another weapon in the enemy's arsenal. And it's more dangerous than you realize. He doesn't necessarily need you to stop believing completely. He just needs you to postpone belief long enough for you to miss the window of opportunity that's open right now. He whispers, "You can believe this later. You can respond to this message tomorrow. You can take action next week when you feel more ready, more spiritual, more worthy." But timing in the kingdom of God is everything, and delayed obedience is still disobedience. The miracle that's available to you right now might require a response right now. And postponing that response could mean postponing the breakthrough indefinitely, not because God changes his mind, but because you miss the moment when heaven and earth align for your deliverance. This is not the first time the enemy has tried this strategy on you, and you need to recognize the pattern so you can break it once and for all. How many times have you been right on the edge of a breakthrough, felt the resistance intensify, and then backed away thinking it wasn't the right time or it wasn't really from God? How many times have you been about to step through a door of opportunity, felt the fear and doubt flood your mind, and then convinced yourself it was wisdom telling you to wait when it was actually the enemy telling you to stop? The pattern has to end here, today, in this moment. You have to make a decision that no matter what you feel, no matter what voices speak in your mind, no matter how tired or discouraged you are, you will not quit, you will not postpone, and you will not let another breakthrough slip through your fingers. The enemy's ultimate goal is not just to steal this one miracle from you. His goal is to condition you to give up habitually, to make quitting your default response to resistance. He wants to train you to associate spiritual opposition with failure, so that every time you encounter a battle, you automatically assume you're going to lose and you don't even bother fighting. He wants you to become so accustomed to disappointment that you stop hoping for anything better, so familiar with closed doors that you stop knocking on new ones, so used to prayers going unanswered that you stop praying altogether. That's his endgame. Not just stopping this blessing, but stopping every future blessing by destroying your capacity to believe, to hope, to persist, and to fight for what God has promised you. But here's what the enemy doesn't want you to know, what he's desperately trying to hide from your awareness right now. He's already lost this battle. The victory has been confirmed in heaven, which means it's not up for debate in hell. The decree has been issued by the supreme authority of the universe, which means no lesser authority can override it or cancel it. What God has confirmed, the enemy cannot unconfirm, no matter how hard he fights, how many lies he tells, or how much resistance he generates. The outcome is already determined. The question is not whether you're going to get your breakthrough. The question is whether you're going to stand in faith long enough to see the manifestation of what's already been decided in the spiritual realm. The weariness, the doubt, the procrastination, these are last-ditch efforts from an enemy who knows his time is short and his defeat is certain. He's throwing everything he has at you because he has nothing left to lose. He's already lost the war, so he's trying to win this one battle by default, by convincing you to forfeit what you've already been given the legal right to possess. Don't give him that satisfaction. Don't let him steal through deception what he couldn't take through direct confrontation. Don't surrender to discouragement when you're literally standing at the finish line of the longest, hardest race you've ever run in your life. This is the last stretch, the final test, the ultimate trial of your faith before the breakthrough manifests. And I need you to understand something crucial. The enemy always attacks hardest right before the victory. He doesn't waste resources on lost causes. He doesn't fight battles he's already won. The very fact that you're under such intense pressure right now is proof that you haven't lost. You're not defeated, and your situation is not hopeless like he wants you to believe. You're under attack because you're about to win, and the enemy knows it, even if you don't feel it yet. The darkness is always deepest right before the dawn breaks, and your dawn is about to break with a brilliance that will illuminate everything the enemy tried to hide in the shadows. So when that voice whispers, "Give up," I need you to recognize it as the voice of a defeated enemy trying to convince you that you're the one who's defeated. When that feeling of exhaustion tries to make you quit, I need you to see it as evidence that you've been fighting a real battle and you're still standing when you should have fallen long ago. When that urge to postpone obedience tries to delay your response, I need you to understand that delayed obedience always costs more than immediate obedience, and the price of missing this moment could be years of unnecessary suffering that God never intended for you to endure. The spiritual warfare you're experiencing is real, intense, and exhausting, but it's also confirmation that what's coming is real, powerful, and life-changing. The enemy doesn't fight this hard to stop something small or insignificant. He fights with this intensity only when he's trying to prevent something massive from manifesting in your life. So take encouragement from the battle itself. Let the resistance strengthen your faith instead of weakening it. Let the attack remind you that you're dangerous to the kingdom of darkness, not defeated by it. And let the weariness become fuel for one final push toward the breakthrough that's waiting on the other side of this last obstacle. This is where most people quit, right here at this exact point in the journey. They've come so far, endured so much, fought so hard, and then they quit steps away from the victory because the final battle felt too intense to survive. Don't be like most people. Don't let your story end the way so many other stories have ended, with people giving up inches away from their miracle because they couldn't recognize that the intensity of the opposition was actually proof of the proximity of the blessing. You've come too far to turn back now. You've invested too much to walk away empty-handed now. You've survived too much to let the enemy convince you that you can't survive one more day of standing in faith and refusing to surrender what God has confirmed is yours. Now let me tell you what's really happening while you've been fighting these battles in the visible realm. There's a shift taking place in the spiritual atmosphere over your life that's so massive, so powerful, so undeniable that even the enemy can't stop it. He can only try to distract you from receiving it. God has just issued a decree of restoration in double portion over everything you lost, everything that was stolen, everything that was delayed, and everything that was denied to you. This is not a promise for the future. This is a present tense reality that's already in motion, already activated, already moving toward you at supernatural speed. The word restoration means to bring back to original condition. But God's version of restoration always exceeds the original. He doesn't just replace what was taken, He multiplies it, upgrades it, and makes it better than it ever was before. The nature of what's coming to you is not incremental improvement or gradual change. It's sudden, dramatic, undeniable transformation that will shock everyone who's been watching your life, including you. This is the kind of miracle that makes people stop and say, "Only God could have done that." It's the kind of breakthrough that becomes a testimony others tell for years because it defies natural explanation. What you're about to experience is acceleration, divine speed that compresses years of waiting into days of manifestation. Things that should take months to develop will happen overnight. Doors that should require years of preparation to walk through will swing open with one supernatural encounter. Provisions that should take decades to accumulate will be released in a single season of overflow. Your new history is not just a better version of your old story with some improvements around the edges. It's a complete rewrite from a different author with a different ending. The old narrative had you cast as the victim, the one who struggles, the one who barely makes it, the one who always comes up short. But God is tearing up that script and writing a new one where you're the victor, the overcomer, the one who triumphs. The one who becomes a living example of what happens when someone refuses to stop believing. The title of your life is changing from the one who suffered to the one who overcame, from the one who lost to the one who was restored in double portion, from the one who waited to the one who received. While you've been enduring attacks in the natural realm, God has been working in the supernatural realm in ways you couldn't see and wouldn't believe if I told you everything that's been happening. He's been in the courtrooms of heaven, arguing your case, presenting evidence of your faithfulness, and issuing verdicts in your favor that overturn every negative judgment the enemy tried to establish against you. He's been moving behind the scenes, repositioning people, rearranging circumstances, redirecting resources, and realigning opportunities so that everything converges at the appointed time for your breakthrough. Angels have been dispatched with specific assignments related to your deliverance, and they're working right now to remove obstacles, clear paths, and prepare the way for your entrance into the next dimension of blessing. God has been canceling plans that were designed to harm you. Plans you didn't even know existed because they were being plotted in secret by people and spiritual forces that wanted to see you fail. Schemes that were set in motion years ago to derail your destiny have been systematically dismantled piece by piece. Traps that were laid in your path to make you stumble have been exposed and destroyed before you ever got close to them. Agreements that were made in spiritual realms to limit your progress and cap your potential have been annulled by the blood of Jesus and replaced with covenants of blessing that cannot be broken by any power in heaven, earth, or hell. There's been a strategic removal happening in your life that you might have interpreted as loss or abandonment, but it was actually divine protection and preparation. People who were in your circle but weren't supposed to be in your future have been removed, not to hurt you, but to protect you from the betrayal they would have committed when you stepped into your next level. Relationships that felt important but were actually toxic have been severed, not because God was being cruel, but because He was making room for the right connections that will accelerate your purpose instead of drain your energy. Opportunities that looked appealing but would have taken you off course have been closed, not because you weren't qualified, but because God has something better that's perfectly aligned with your calling. The acceleration of time that's happening in your life right now is going to make up for every delay you've experienced. Things that the enemy stole through procrastination and distraction are about to be restored at supernatural speed. Months of progress that should have happened but didn't are about to be compressed into weeks. Years of advancement that were blocked are about to manifest in months. The principle of restoration in double portion means you don't just get back what you lost. You get back twice as much, and you get it back faster than it was taken. The years the locusts have eaten are about to be restored, not at the slow pace of natural growth, but at the accelerated pace of divine intervention. Generational cycles that have plagued your family line for decades are being broken right now, not just for you, but for everyone who comes after you. The patterns of poverty, sickness, addiction, divorce, and dysfunction that have repeated generation after generation in your bloodline are being shattered by the power of God. You're not just getting a personal breakthrough, you're becoming a generational curse breaker, the one who stops the cycle, the one who says, "It ends with me," the one whose children and grandchildren will live in freedom because you refused to quit during your season of testing. The legacy you're creating right now through your perseverance is more valuable than any material inheritance you could leave behind. Financial breakthroughs are included in this package of restoration, and they're not coming through the normal channels you've been watching and waiting for. God is about to surprise you with sources of provision you never expected, never applied for, never even knew existed. Money that should have come to you years ago but was blocked or redirected is about to be released with interest and increase. Debts that seemed impossible to pay off are about to be supernaturally cancelled or supernaturally provided for in ways that make no sense in the natural but make perfect sense in the kingdom. The financial stress that's been choking the life out of you and your family is about to be replaced with financial freedom that lets you breathe again, dream again, and give generously the way you've always wanted to but never had the resources to do. The breakthrough in your family relationships is going to heal wounds that have been open for years, maybe even decades. Conflicts that seemed permanent and unfixable are about to be resolved through divine intervention that softens hearts, opens eyes, and creates understanding where there was only misunderstanding before. Family members who were estranged are going to be reconnected. Relationships that were broken are going to be restored. Peace that seemed impossible is going to fill your home and your extended family in ways that can only be attributed to the supernatural work of God, bringing reconciliation where human effort failed repeatedly. Your identity is being restored to the original design God had for you before life, trauma, disappointment, and the enemy's lies distorted your view of yourself. You're about to remember who you really are, not the labels others put on you, not the failures that tried to define you, not the rejection that tried to convince you that you're worthless. You're a child of the Most High God, chosen before the foundation of the world, called with a holy calling, equipped with everything you need for life and godliness, and destined for greatness that will impact generations. The lies you've believed about yourself are being replaced with truth, and that truth is setting you free from every limitation the enemy tried to impose on your thinking. The favor that's about to manifest in your life is going to open doors that don't open for most people, create opportunities that don't exist for the average person, and give you access to levels of influence and impact that you couldn't create through your own effort or credentials. This is the kind of favor that makes people ask, "How did that happen?" And the only answer is God did it. This is supernatural favor that goes before you and makes crooked places straight, that speaks on your behalf when you're not in the room, that causes decision makers to say yes when logic says they should say no. It's favor that gives you preferential treatment, not because you're better than others, but because God's hand is on your life for a specific purpose. The vocational calling on your life that you thought was dead or that you gave up on because circumstances made it seem impossible, that calling is being resurrected right now. God hasn't forgotten the dreams He planted in your heart years ago. He hasn't changed His mind about the purpose He created you to fulfill. What looked like a detour or a dead end was actually a preparation ground, a training season, a character-building process that qualified you to handle the calling when it fully manifests. You're about to step into your purpose with a maturity, wisdom, and authority that you didn't have before the wilderness season. And that makes you more effective than you would have been if you had gotten the opportunity when you first wanted it. Public recognition of your value and your contribution is part of this restoration package. People who overlooked you are going to see you. People who underestimated you are going to be shocked by what God does through you. People who dismissed you are going to have to acknowledge that they were wrong about you. This is not about revenge or proving people wrong for the sake of your ego. This is about God vindicating you publicly because your reputation matters to Him, your name matters to Him, and He won't allow lies about His children to stand forever. The vindication that's coming will be undeniable, unavoidable, and impossible to explain away as coincidence or luck. Everything I've just described to you is not wishful thinking or positive affirmation designed to make you feel better temporarily. This is prophetic declaration of what God has already set in motion. The confirmation has been issued. The decree has been signed. The angels have been assigned. The resources have been released. The doors are opening. The obstacles are being removed. The enemies are being scattered. The timeline is being accelerated, and all that remains is for you to align your faith with what heaven has already declared, to position yourself to receive what's already been released, and to prepare yourself for the suddenness of how this is all going to manifest in your life starting right now. The old season where you were tested, tried, and trained is officially over as of this moment. The new season where you're blessed, promoted, and celebrated is officially beginning right now. You don't have to wait for some future date when you feel more ready or more worthy. You don't have to wait until circumstances look different in the natural realm. The shift happens in the spirit first, and then it manifests in the natural, and the spiritual shift has already occurred. Heaven has turned the page. The old chapter is closed. The new chapter is open. And your new history as a victor, as an overcomer, as a testimony of God's faithfulness is being written, starting with this very moment and every moment that follows from here forward. The manifestation of everything I've told you will begin to show up in your natural circumstances faster than you expect. Some of it will happen so quickly that you'll barely have time to process what's occurring. Other aspects will unfold progressively over the coming weeks and months, but the momentum will be undeniable. You'll look back on this moment as the turning point when everything changed, when the breakthrough you'd been believing for finally broke through, when the promise you'd been holding on to finally came to pass, when the God you'd been trusting finally showed up in a way that silenced every doubt and confirmed that your faith was not misplaced. Now I'm going to speak with the full authority of heaven over every area of your life that's been under attack. And I need you to receive these words, not as nice thoughts or hopeful wishes, but as divine decrees that carry the weight of God's power behind them. In the area of your family, I break every curse that has operated through your bloodline. I cancel every pattern of dysfunction, divorce, addiction, and premature death that has repeated generation after generation. I declare that the cycle stops with you, that your children and your children's children will walk in freedom because you stood in the gap and refused to let the enemy continue his work through your family line. The chaos that has characterized your home is being replaced right now with supernatural peace that passes understanding. Relationships that were fractured are being healed. Communication that was broken is being restored. Love that grew cold is being reignited by the fire of the Holy Spirit. In the area of your health, I speak divine restoration over every system in your body that's been under attack. I command sickness to leave, pain to cease, and symptoms to disappear in the name of Jesus. The stress that's been destroying your physical body is being replaced with supernatural rest that restores, rejuvenates, and revitalizes every cell, every organ, every function. Sleep that's been stolen is being returned. Energy that's been depleted is being renewed. Strength that's been sapped is being restored at levels you haven't experienced in years. Your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit, and I declare that it will function according to divine design, not according to the attacks of the enemy or the limitations of natural circumstances. What doctors said was permanent, God says is temporary. What medical science said was impossible, God says is already done in the spiritual realm and manifesting now in the physical realm. In the area of your finances, I break the spirit of poverty, lack, and insufficiency that has followed you and tormented you for far too long. I declare that the windows of heaven are opening over your life right now, and blessings are being poured out that you won't have room enough to contain. I cancel every debt, every lack, every shortage, and every financial burden that's been crushing you under its weight. Sources of income that were blocked are being unblocked right now. Opportunities for increase that were hidden are being revealed. Favor with financial institutions, with employers, with clients, with anyone who controls resources you need. That favor is being released supernaturally. You are moving from barely surviving to abundantly thriving, from paycheck to paycheck to overflow upon overflow, from borrower to lender, from tail to head in the financial realm. I declare over your career and your calling that closed doors are being blown off their hinges and new doors are swinging wide open that no man can shut. The gifts, talents, and abilities that God placed in you are being recognized, valued, and rewarded at levels that correspond with their true worth, not the diminished value the world tried to assign to them. Promotions that were blocked are being released. Opportunities that were denied are being granted. Favor that was withheld is being poured out abundantly. You're about to step into a dimension of your calling that you've sensed was there but could never quite reach. And when you step into it, you'll know beyond any doubt that this is what you were created for. This is what all the preparation was about. And this is where you finally fit perfectly. I speak to your mind and your emotions right now, and I command every stronghold of depression, anxiety, fear, and hopelessness to be demolished. I declare that the joy of the Lord is your strength, that the peace of God guards your heart and mind, that the hope of glory anchors your soul in the storm. The thoughts that have tormented you are being replaced with thoughts of faith, hope, and victory. The emotions that have overwhelmed you are being brought under the control of the Holy Spirit. The mental exhaustion that's made it hard to think clearly is being lifted, and divine clarity is flooding your mind with wisdom, insight, and understanding about what to do next and where to go from here. God speaks over you right now and says, I am the God who sees you, and I have seen every tear you've cried, every sacrifice you've made, every moment you chose obedience over comfort. I am the God who hears you, and I have heard every prayer you've whispered, every cry you've screamed, every groan that came from the depths of your spirit when words failed. I am the God who knows you, and I know your pain, your struggle, your weariness, and your breaking point. And I'm here to tell you that you have not reached your breaking point. You have reached your breakthrough point. What you're experiencing right now is not the beginning of your collapse. It's the beginning of your comeback. And it's going to be greater than anything you've imagined or dreamed possible. The scripture says in Jeremiah 29d, verse 11, For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans for welfare and not for evil, to give you a future and a hope. This is not an empty promise or a nice sentiment. This is a binding covenant from a God who cannot lie and does not change his mind. The plans he has for you are plans of prosperity, not poverty. Plans of peace, not chaos. Plans of purpose, not meaninglessness. Plans of progress, not stagnation. And these plans were established before you were born, confirmed before you faced your first battle, and they remain unchanged despite every attack, every setback, every disappointment you've experienced. The plans stand because the God who made them stands, and what he has purposed, no power in existence can prevent. Isaiah 43. Verse 19 declares, Behold, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs forth. Do you not perceive it? I will make a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert. This is your moment, your season, your time for the new thing that God has been preparing behind the scenes. The wilderness you've been walking through is about to become a highway of blessing. The desert of lack and struggle is about to become a river of abundance and overflow. What looked like a dead end is about to become a doorway. What felt like a grave is about to become a garden. What appeared to be the end of your story is about to be revealed as just the end of a chapter. And the next chapter is going to be so good that you'll understand why the previous chapter had to end the way it did. Now, hear this clearly, because it's crucial for what comes next. There are specific actions you need to take to activate what's been released. First, you must remain still in your faith and stop trying to force things to happen through your own strength and strategy. God is not asking for your help. He's asking for your trust. Stop striving. Stop manipulating. Stop trying to make it happen on your own timeline and through your own methods. Be still and know that He is God, and let Him work on your behalf in ways that are far beyond your ability to orchestrate or control. Your job is not to figure out how this is all going to happen. Your job is to believe that it will happen because God said it will. Second, you must declare the promises of God out loud over your situation. There's power in the spoken word. And when you speak what God has said about you, you're not just affirming truth. You're releasing spiritual authority that shifts atmospheres and breaks down barriers. Stop speaking what you see and start speaking what God says. Stop declaring your lack and start declaring His abundance. Stop confessing your weakness and start confessing His strength. Your words have creative power, and what you consistently speak is what you'll eventually experience. So guard your mouth, Discipline your tongue and make sure that what comes out of your mouth aligns with what God has declared over your life. Third, you must forgive. I know this is hard, especially when the hurt is deep and the betrayal is fresh. But unforgiveness is a prison that keeps you locked in the past, while your future is waiting for you to walk into it. The people who hurt you, who betrayed you, who lied about you, who abandoned you in your darkest hour, you have to release them. Not because they deserve forgiveness, but because you deserve freedom. Forgiveness is not saying that what they did was okay. It's saying that you're not going to let what they did continue to poison your present and your future. Release them to God's justice and trust that He will handle what needs to be handled. Your job is to forgive and move forward, unencumbered by the weight of bitterness and resentment. Psalm 37 down verse 5 says, "Commit your way to the Lord, trust in Him, and He will act." This is your assignment for this season. Commit everything to God and trust Him completely, even when circumstances haven't changed yet. Even when the evidence still looks contrary to the promise. Even when people around you think you're crazy for still believing. Your trust in God is what moves His hand on your behalf. Your faith is what activates the miraculous in your life. And your obedience to what He's telling you to do, even when it doesn't make sense in the natural, is what positions you to receive everything He's prepared for you. The enemy's tactics are exposed now, and you can see them clearly for what they are. He wanted to wear you down through prolonged battle, so you'd quit right before the victory. He wanted to discourage you through repeated setbacks, so you'd stop believing God's promises. He wanted to isolate you by removing supportive people, so you'd feel alone and abandoned. He wanted to distract you with lesser things, so you'd miss the greater things God had prepared. But now that you can see his strategy, you can resist it effectively. You can say no to discouragement, no to doubt, no to distraction, and yes to faith, yes to hope, yes to perseverance, yes to everything God is speaking over your life right now in this moment. Now let me paint a picture of what your life is going to look like on the other side of this breakthrough, because you need to see it clearly in your spirit before it manifests in your circumstances. The restoration that's coming to you is not just about getting back what you lost. It's about receiving double for your trouble, twice as much as what was taken, compensation that far exceeds the damage that was done. Every tear you cried is going to be repaid with joy that's twice as intense. Every loss you suffered is going to be replaced with gain that's twice as valuable. Every year that felt wasted is going to be redeemed with productivity that accomplishes in months what should take years. This is the biblical principle of restitution, where the thief doesn't just return what he stole, he has to pay back multiple times over. And your enemy is about to pay you back everything he took from you with interest, compounded over time. The honor that was stolen from your name is being restored right now, not quietly or privately, but publicly and undeniably. People who believed lies about you are going to see the truth and be forced to acknowledge that they were wrong. People who judged you without knowing the full story are going to be confronted with evidence that vindicates you completely. People who participated in damaging your reputation are going to either apologize publicly or be exposed publicly. Either way, your name is being cleared and your character is being vindicated. This is not about you needing human validation or approval. This is about God defending His child and making sure that the record is set straight, so that your future opportunities aren't limited by past lies and misunderstandings that were allowed to stand unchallenged for too long. Your testimony is being crafted right now through everything you're experiencing, and it's going to become a source of hope and faith for countless people who are going through similar battles. When you tell your story of how God brought you through, how He restored what was broken, how He made a way when there was no way, how He proved faithful when everything looked hopeless, your testimony is going to breathe life into people who are suffocating under the weight of their own struggles. You're not just getting a breakthrough for yourself. You're getting a breakthrough that will become a catalyst for breakthrough in others. Your victory is going to give other people permission to believe that they can have victory too. Your miracle is going to strengthen other people's faith to believe for their own miracles. The people who doubted you, who said you'd never make it, who predicted your failure and maybe even hoped for it, they're going to see your victory and be left speechless. Not because you're trying to prove them wrong or show them up, but because God's vindication of you will be so complete, so obvious, so undeniable that even your critics will have to acknowledge that something supernatural happened in your life. Some of them will be happy for you and celebrate your victory. Others will be convicted by your perseverance and inspired to keep fighting their own battles. And some will be jealous and bitter because your success exposes their failure to believe, to persist, to trust God through difficulty. But regardless of how they respond, they will all see that God was with you, that your faith was not misplaced, and that the one you were trusting proved himself faithful. The legacy you're creating through your faithfulness in this season extends far beyond your own lifetime. Your children are going to grow up knowing that their parent refused to quit when quitting would have been easier and more understandable. They're going to have a living example of what it looks like to trust God when circumstances say He's not coming through. They're going to inherit not just material blessings, but spiritual strength, character, and faith that was forged in your fire and passed down to them as their birthright. Your grandchildren are going to hear stories about how you stood when everyone else fell, how you believed when everyone else doubted, how you received your miracle when everyone else said it was impossible. And those stories are going to shape their faith and give them courage to face their own battles with confidence that God is faithful across generations. The peace that's coming to your life is not the temporary calm between storms that you've experienced before. This is lasting, permanent, deep-rooted peace that comes from knowing that God is in control, that His plans for you are good, and that nothing can separate you from His love or derail His purposes for your life. The anxiety that's been your constant companion is being replaced with confidence. The fear that's paralyzed you is being replaced with boldness. The worry that's stolen your sleep is being replaced with rest that comes from trusting God completely with outcomes you can't control. This peace will become the foundation of everything else in your life. The stable ground you stand on when storms come. The anchor that holds you steady when winds of adversity blow. Financial abundance is part of your legacy. And it's not just for your comfort or your security, though those things matter to God, and He cares about your needs being met. The wealth that's coming to you has a purpose beyond blessing you. It's coming so you can be a blessing to others, so you can fund kingdom work, so you can help people who are in the same desperate situation you were in and give them hope by meeting their practical needs. You're being positioned to become a conduit of God's provision, not a container that hoards it. The more you receive, the more you'll be able to give. The more you're blessed, the more you'll be able to bless others. And the cycle of generosity that begins with you is going to create ripple effects that reach further than you'll ever know or see in your lifetime. Your family is going to experience a level of unity and harmony that seemed impossible before this breakthrough. Old grudges that divided you for years are going to dissolve in the presence of God's love and grace. Misunderstandings that created walls between family members are going to be cleared up through honest communication and supernatural softening of hard hearts. The spiritual atmosphere in your home is being completely transformed from chaos and conflict to peace and mutual respect. Your children are going to grow up in an environment that nurtures their gifts, protects their innocence, and prepares them for their own destinies. Your marriage, if you're married, is being strengthened and deepened beyond what you thought possible. And if you're single, God is preparing the right person to join you at the right time in a union that will be a blessing, not a burden. the purpose you've been searching for, the calling you've sensed but couldn't quite grasp, the destiny you knew was there but couldn't access. All of that is coming into sharp focus right now. You're about to have clarity about why you went through what you went through, why you're wired the way you're wired, why certain things come naturally to you while other people struggle with them. Your unique combination of experiences, gifts, talents, and passions is about to make perfect sense as you step into the assignment God created you to fulfill. And when you step into that assignment fully, you're going to feel a rightness, a fit, a sense of, this is what I was made for, that you've never experienced before. The wandering is over. The searching is complete. You've arrived at your purpose, and now the real work begins. The influence you're about to carry is going to open doors into spaces you never dreamed you'd have access to. You're going to be invited to tables where important decisions are made. You're going to be asked for your opinion by people who have the power to implement what you suggest. You're going to have platforms to share your message with audiences that are hungry for what you have to say. This influence is not about you becoming famous or powerful for your own sake. It's about God positioning you strategically where your voice can make the most impact, where your gifts can affect the most people, where your testimony can inspire the most faith. He's entrusting you with influence because he knows you'll steward it with humility and use it for his glory, not your own. The joy that's being restored to you is not superficial happiness that depends on circumstances being perfect. This is deep, unshakable joy that comes from knowing who God is and who you are in him. It's joy that can coexist with trials because it's rooted in something deeper than temporary comfort. It's joy that becomes your strength when everything else fails. It's joy that radiates from you and affects everyone around you, making them wonder what you have that they don't have, what you know that they don't know, what your secret is to being at peace in a world that's falling apart. And when they ask, you'll be able to tell them about the God who brought you through, who restored what was broken, who proved himself faithful when you had every reason to doubt. Your future generations are going to look back at this moment as the turning point for your entire family line. They're going to study your life and marvel at your perseverance. They're going to thank God that you didn't quit when quitting seemed like the only rational option. They're going to enjoy freedoms you fought for, blessings you believed for, and opportunities you created by standing your ground when the enemy tried to push you off your inheritance. The investment you're making right now in staying faithful is going to pay dividends for 100 years after you're gone. Children who haven't been born yet are going to benefit from the stand you're taking today. This is bigger than you, longer than your lifetime, and more important than you can fully comprehend right now. Everything you've suffered is being transformed from meaningless pain into purposeful testimony. Nothing is wasted in God's economy. Every tear has been collected. Every prayer has been recorded. Every moment of faithfulness has been noted. And all of it is being woven together into a story that will give God glory and give other people hope. What the enemy meant for evil, God is turning for good. What was designed to destroy you is being used to develop you. What felt like an ending is being revealed as a beginning. And the best part of your story is not what happened in your past. It's what's about to happen in your future, starting right now. So here's what I need you to understand as we close this message. The time of God is not tomorrow, not next week, not someday in the distant future when you feel more ready or more worthy. The time of God is now, right now, in this present moment as you're hearing these words. The confirmation of your victory has been issued from heaven, and heaven doesn't send confirmations for things that are years away. Heaven sends confirmations when the manifestation is imminent, when the breakthrough is at the door, when the miracle is about to cross from the spiritual realm into the physical realm. So this is not information for you to file away and think about later. This is activation that requires your immediate response of faith, your agreement with what's been declared, your alignment with what's been decreed over your life. Faithfulness to God in this moment means staying connected to the source of your breakthrough. It means not allowing distractions, doubts, or disappointments to pull you away from the place where your miracle is going to meet you. Too many people miss their moment because they disconnect right before the manifestation. They stop praying right before the answer comes. They stop believing right before the promise fulfills. They walk away from the well right before the water breaks through. I'm telling you, don't be that person. Don't let this be another moment where you were close but didn't receive because you didn't stay connected long enough. The victory is confirmed, but you have to remain in position to receive it when it arrives. The declaration you need to make right now over your life is this, and I want you to say it out loud, wherever you are. I receive this confirmation of victory in my life right now. I'm not waiting for perfect conditions or perfect feelings. I'm receiving by faith what God has released by grace. I receive restoration in double portion. I receive acceleration of everything that's been delayed. I receive the breaking of every generational curse. I receive financial breakthrough. I receive family restoration. I receive clarity of purpose. I receive divine favor. I receive everything God has declared over me in this message. And I receive it now, not someday, but right now in Jesus' name. That declaration just shifted something in the spiritual realm. That agreement with heaven just activated angelic activity on your behalf. Now declare this second statement with the same boldness and authority. I trust that my new history begins today and will not be interrupted. The enemy will not steal this breakthrough. Discouragement will not derail this miracle. Doubt will not cancel this promise. My new history as a victor starts now. And nothing in hell or earth has the power to stop what God has started in my life. I am moving from victim to victor, from defeated to deliverer, from broken to blessed, and this transition is permanent, not temporary. My story is being rewritten by the hand of God, and the new chapters will be filled with testimony of His faithfulness. And finally, declare this third statement that seals everything we've talked about. God is faithful. And He is acting in my favor at this exact moment. While I'm speaking these words, angels are moving on my behalf. While I'm making this declaration, doors are opening that have been closed. While I'm agreeing with heaven, obstacles are being removed that have been blocking my path. God's faithfulness is not dependent on my feelings, my circumstances, or my understanding. His faithfulness is rooted in His character, and His character never changes. So I trust Him completely, knowing that what He has confirmed will manifest, what He has promised will come to pass, and what He has declared over my life will become my reality. Now I need you to do something that connects your faith to action and ensures you don't miss the next word God has for you. Leave your Amen in the like button right now as proof that you're signing your victory, that you're agreeing with everything that's been declared, that you're taking ownership of the breakthrough that's been released. This is not just a technical action on a video, this is a spiritual act of agreement. When you hit that like button, you're saying yes to God, yes to the promise, yes to your new history. It's your signature on the contract of blessing that heaven has drawn up with your name on it. And then, I need you to subscribe to this channel immediately. Because this is not the last word you need to hear from God. The breakthrough you're stepping into is going to require sustained faith, continued encouragement, and ongoing revelation to walk out fully. If you disconnect from the source of prophetic words that strengthen your faith, you make yourself vulnerable to the enemy's counterattacks that will try to steal what you just received. Subscribing is not about supporting a channel. It's about staying connected to the flow of life-giving words that will sustain you through the manifestation process. It's about guaranteeing that you won't miss the next mandate from heaven that builds on what you received today. Next, I need you to share this message with 3 people right now. 3 specific people who God is bringing to your mind as I'm speaking. These are people who are in their own battles, fighting their own doubts, struggling with their own weariness. And they need to hear this confirmation just as much as you did. When you share this message, you're not just being nice or helpful. You're sowing a seed of blessing that will come back to you multiplied. You're participating in someone else's breakthrough, and God always rewards those who help others get their victory. The act of sharing is the act of sowing, and what you sow in someone else's life, God will make sure gets sown back into yours at the exact moment you need it most. Finally, go to the comments right now and type these exact words. My new history begins now. Don't modify it. Don't change it. Don't add to it. Just type those 5 words. My new history begins now. When you do that, you're sealing this decree in the digital realm, creating a public testimony that you can come back to later when the manifestation is complete and say, this is when it started. This is the moment everything changed. This is where my new history began. Your comment becomes a marker, a memorial stone, a reminder of the day when God confirmed your victory and you had the faith to receive it and the courage to declare it publicly. This is your moment. This is your time. This is your season. Everything that's been spoken over you in this message is true. It's real. It's confirmed by heaven, and it's manifesting right now. Don't let another second pass without responding in faith. Don't let doubt creep back in and steal what you just received. Don't let procrastination delay your obedience. Take action now. Like this video now. Subscribe now. Share now. Comment now. And watch as God begins to move in your life with a speed and a power that will leave you absolutely amazed at His faithfulness. Your new history begins now, and nothing will ever be the same again.